ਤੇ ਕਿਉਂ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਡਿਸੀਜਨ ਲਿਆ ਕਿ ਕਿਉਂ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਲਿਬਰਲਸ ਦੇ ਵੱਲੋਂ ਪੋਲਿਟਿਕਸ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਆਉਣਾ ਚਾਹੀਦਾ। ਲੈਟਸ ਵੈਲਕਮ Brea Huang Sami। $10 childcare, how it will work for the people in Burnaby South?
I can't wait to really bring this agreement into realities for my neighbors here in Burnaby South. Housing is a big issue and it's a big concern for many of our residents. And if you compare all the plans between the different parties, we know that the transparency of the transaction in the housing market is also play a part.
Was the Liberals' platform to take care of environment and the climate change?
We are taking actions, strong actions to stop the single-use plastic products so we can cut down the pollution, the waste to our environment.
ਸਤਿ ਸ਼੍ਰੀ ਅਕਾਲ, ਤੁਸੀਂ ਦੇਖ ਰਹੇ ਹੋ ਸਾਂਝਾ ਟੀਵੀ। ਮੈਂ ਹਾਂ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਨਾਲ ਅਰਸ਼ਦੀਪ। ਡਿਸੀਜਨ 2021 ਫੈਡਰਲ ਇਲੈਕਸ਼ਨ ਸਪਟੈਂਬਰ 20th ਨੂੰ ਹੈਗੇ ਨੇ ਤੇ ਇਸ ਦੇ ਲਈ ਸਾਰੇ ਕੈਂਡੀਡੇਟ ਮੈਦਾਨ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਨੇ ਤੇ ਸਾਰੇ ਆਪਣੇ ਪਲੇਟਫਾਰਮ ਨੂੰ ਦੱਸ ਰਹੇ ਨੇ ਕਿ ਅਸੀਂ ਕੀ ਕੁਝ ਕਰਾਂਗੇ ਜੇ ਸਾਡੀ ਸਰਕਾਰ ਬਣਦੀ ਹੈ। ਜੇ ਅਸੀਂ ਬਰਨਬੀ ਸਾਊਥ ਦੀ ਰਾਈਡਿੰਗ ਦੀ ਗੱਲ ਕਰੀਏ ਤਾਂ ਐਨਡੀਪੀ ਲੀਡਰ ਜਗਮੀਤ ਸਿੰਘ ਉੱਥੋਂ ਪਿਛਲੀ ਵਾਰ ਜਿੱਤੇ ਸੀ, ਪਰ ਇਸ ਵਾਰ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਟੱਕਰ ਦੇ ਰਹੇ ਨੇ Brea Huang Sami। ਪਹਿਲੀ ਵਾਰ ਇਸ ਇਲੈਕਸ਼ਨ ਪਲੇਟਫਾਰਮ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਇਸ ਇਲੈਕਸ਼ਨ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਗੁੱਦੇ ਨੇ ਤੇ ਚਾਈਨਾ ਤੋਂ ਨੇ 2005 ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਇਹ ਇਮੀਗ੍ਰੈਂਟ ਹੋਏ ਸੀ ਕੈਨੇਡਾ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ, ਪਰ ਬਹੁਤ ਸਾਰੇ ਮੁੱਦੇ ਸੀ ਜਿਨ੍ਹਾਂ ਦੇ ਉੱਤੇ ਆਪ ਕੰਮ ਕਰਨਾ ਚਾਹੁੰਦੇ ਸੀ। ਉਹਨਾਂ ਲੋਕਾਂ ਦੇ ਲਈ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਇੱਥੇ ਇਮੀਗ੍ਰੈਂਟ ਹੁੰਦੇ ਨੇ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਲਈ ਇਸ ਸ਼ਹਿਰ ਨੂੰ ਰਹਿਣ ਦੇ ਕਾਬਿਲ ਬਣਾਉਣਾ ਚਾਹੁੰਦੇ ਸੀ। ਇਸੇ ਲਈ ਇਸ ਰੇਸ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਇਹ ਸ਼ਾਮਿਲ ਹੋਏ ਨੇ। ਅੱਜ ਸਟੂਡੀਓ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਪਹੁੰਚੇ ਹੋਏ ਨੇ। ਇਹਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਗੱਲ ਕਰਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਕਿ ਕਿਹੜੇ ਮੁੱਦਿਆਂ ਤੇ ਇਹ ਗੱਲ ਕਰਨਾ ਚਾਹੁੰਦੇ ਨੇ। ਲਿਬਰਲ ਪਲੇਟਫਾਰਮ ਬਾਰੇ ਗੱਲ ਹੋਵੇਗੀ ਤੇ ਕਿਉਂ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਡਿਸੀਜਨ ਲਿਆ ਕਿ ਕਿਉਂ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਲਿਬਰਲਸ ਦੇ ਵੱਲੋਂ ਪੋਲਿਟਿਕਸ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਆਉਣਾ ਚਾਹੀਦਾ। ਲੈਟਸ ਵੈਲਕਮ Brea Huang Sami। Brea, welcome.
Hi Ash, thank you for having me here.
How are you doing?
Good.
How's the election campaign first of all?
It's been going great. Yeah.
How's the response?
The response at the neighborhood when I go and downlocking is super positive. And I'm happy to hear that with a lot of my neighbors that we are looking for a local change, that we need a local voice. So that's great, and I'm looking forward to the rest of the campaign.
Brea, I'm looking at your name, Sami. Is it the Indian name? How comes?
Yes, yes. My husband is Indian.
Oh wow!
So it's my married name. My maiden name is Huang.
So first, let's talk about the Liberals' platform. You are a mother of 3.
Yes.
Let's talk childcare first. $10 childcare, how it will work for the people in Burnaby South?
Yes. I'm a mother of 3, like you just mentioned, so I cannot appreciate more on this $10 affordable childcare means for a parent. I still remember the stress and struggles that we have to go through back then when they were little, and now they are 8, 9, 10. They are in primary school. But there was a lot of things to juggle at that time when they were young, and they have to take the early learning, take care. They have to look for the care facilities for them. I remember like we were checking out the facilities, and we have like we were like, oh, you have to wait for two years.
Oh wow!
So now with the Liberals childcare plan, it's very comprehensive one. That we are not just looking at color cost, the actual money that you have to pay out for the child care service that you have to pay out of your pocket. It's like, not to mention like that's a significant cut. Like you will be able to save 50% by the end of next year, and within the 5 years or even sooner, we're going to make it $10 a day for every parent. So it's the biggest plan, and I'm so proud of as a part of the Liberal team. But this is not just the cost, the plan to cut the cost for family. We also take it as economic plan because we'll be creating 235 childcare space, and to support that, we'll be training 40,000 qualified educators. So this will create a lot of jobs, good jobs, and will help to expand our middle class families. So I can't wait for it. I can't wait to really bring this agreement into realities for my neighbors here in Burnaby South.
So another big issue in the Lower Mainland is housing, affordable housing. So you immigrant in 2005, as a new immigrant, if somebody's landing today, it's really hard for them to afford a house, affordable housing, affordable living. If Liberal government will reform or you will elect as an MP, what will you do to make house affordable?
And that's another part of our plan that I'm so proud of because in Burnaby, actually not just Burnaby, I would say like whole Greater Vancouver, housing is a big issue and it's a big concern for many of our residents. And if you compare all the plans between the different parties, the Liberal plan on housing, on solving the housing crisis, is the most comprehensive, well-supported, well-sorted, and feasible plan. Because we are not only looking at, yes, we are going to increase the price. We're going to build 1.4 million new homes, build or repair. We are going to increase the supply of the housing units. This number is higher than any other parties. In the meantime, we know the housing price crisis is not just coming from the supply. We also want to help the first-time buyer to be able to save money faster through the tax-free first-time home buyer saving accounts, and we're also pushing out pushing out stronger tax savings, tax credits for the first-time buyer. And on top of that, we know that the transparency of the transaction in the housing market is also play a part, and the speculation in the housing transaction is also a concern. So we are going to work from it from legal perspective, work hard to avoid this, to eliminate, to minimize the impact from this perspective to our housing market, so that all our Canadian families, especially the young Canadian families, that they will be able to have more accessible and affordable houses when they're ready to buy a home.
When we talk about climate change is real, climate crisis is real. What's the Liberals' platform to take care of environment and the climate change?
Yes, we have very strong actions on climate change. Not to mention, like Orange Tool and the Conservative, they were trying to deny climate change, and you will see they don't really put out any actions against it. And NDP, they put out some magical numbers, but when you look into it, there's a very weak substance. So, like, if you look at our plan is the highest rating climate plan by the scientists. We got 8 out of 10 compared to 2 out of 10 or 4 out of 10 of other parties. So when we do climate change, we plan out this climate change. Again, we put it as a job plan, and it's an economic recovery plan too. And we understand there's urgency in fighting against the climate change. And it's especially like this summer in BC, we have experienced so much extreme weather, and there's a higher amount of wildfire going everywhere. Do you still remember those few days that we have to experience the smoky weather?
Wave, yeah.
Yes, we want that. We want to improve that.
Yes.
And next year, before the wildfire season comes, we want to be ready to react proactively. And only the Liberals climate change plan will help us to get there. So you will see, we'll continue to work towards the net emission by 2035. And we're also working very hard on achieving the zero emission on the vehicle use by 2035. We are committed to invest in green technologies to boost our Canadian innovation and technology that can help us fighting against the climate. In the meantime, we are taking actions, strong actions to stop the use plastic products, so we can cut down the pollution, the waste to our environment. So these are the strong, solid plan that we put out, and the re-elected Liberal government will work very hard on it. But in the meantime, I would say, for each family, we also have a responsibility from each one of us, from each one of our kids, that we need to educate each other. Start from our daily life, start recycling, so we can do our part, and we can build a cleaner community and cleaner environment together.
On one hand, liberals are promising pipelines, and other hands they are talking about climate change actions. How will they balance both of them?
That's a good question. Pipeline, the TMS pipeline is actually a very critical steps of our energy transition plan, the overall plan. Canada it's an energy-rich country, and for all of our Canadian people to benefit from our vast resource, we are looking in a way to sell our resource to the global market, where we are able to sell the same resource at a much higher price. So these TMS has bring in and will bring in a very, very tremendous job opportunity for our society. In the meantime, has a lot of economic synergies in there. Yes, when we implement this TMS pipeline plan, we also consider how we can protect our environment in the meantime, because we want to find the best, most balanced way that we can protect our environment in our community. If you look at TMS, 90% of the routes are same as the old one. The existing pipeline was built 1950s, which is close to 7 years old now.
Yes.
We are taking us this opportunity to upgrade the existing pipelines, to upgrade the infrastructure around the routes. And then just think about, in a traditional way, you will see, we transport the gas and oil like through truck, railway from A to B. Based on data and research, it's actually more dangerous to transport that way compared to transport through pipeline. Especially now, you apply our new technology, apply the highest safety standard. We make sure the emergency control protocols are in place. So like this way, we can make sure we are building a stronger economy while we are protecting a healthy environment. But like I say, this TMS project is part of our transition process. We are ensuring every dollar that we make from TMS will be invested back to our green transition coming up.
That's not. Let's talk about economy. As you mentioned, it's beneficial for the economy as well. So now they put economy plan in the platform that they want to improve the economy. They want to make more jobs. They want to take economy back on track. So what the Liberals plan to take economy back on track?
We have a very solid plan in putting to support the Canadians, and we want to build a more resilient, stronger, healthier economy. And with that, like now we are not out of the wood of pandemic yet, so we will continue to support our businesses to go through this crisis, especially for the sectors that had a very, very significant bad impact from the COVID-19 crisis. And we're going to put out additional support program for them, like for example, like tourists, like arts. These are putting out to protect our existing businesses, so we can go through this crisis. We are in a better base to rebound back. And at the same time, we are going to invest in healthcare, because from this crisis we learned a lot, and we know better healthcare for every Canadian family is very, very critical. So we'll invest on having additional doctors, nurses, nurse practitioners. We're going to also invest on our personal support workers, so that we can provide better long-term care for our seniors. And We also looking into invest more in healthcare, childcare. Those will create a lot of jobs, and we also consider our environment, and for the future, the future and how we want to continue to fight against the climate change. So investing on the new technology, green technology, where has taken us to be a leader in the world. This is another area that we want to continue and put effort in it too. So overall, like if we look at our platform, it doesn't matter is healthcare plan, childcare plan, housing plan, all this we are circled at. We want to build a more resilient and stronger economy to help our Canadian family and businesses to build back better.
We can see in a platform they want to, I can say, spend $78 billion more to bring back economy on the track. But when we see the deficit is like 31.4 billion, something like that. So how the Liberals will balance the budget? Will the taxes up for the Canadians in next sometime or next year?
Yeah, I actually like this question because I'm a chartered professional accountant and I'm a number person. So I understand what a debt or a deficit mean to a company, a government, or a family. Of course, before going to numbers, I think to me the most dangerous part is when we are in a crisis like this, the public health pandemic like this. The most dangerous part is the government is not doing anything or not doing enough or not putting our health and safety as a top priority. Because if you look at every case, the COVID case, every COVID death case, there's a family there. There's a family that was happy and now it's saddened and broken from the crisis. So my values align with Liberal Party because I think in a crisis like this, they're putting our life, our safety, our health at the top priority, and this is a good government should do. Second, go back to numbers. If we look at like what we have done for the last 18 months, yes, the Liberal government has been used. We have been using our AAA credit rating to borrow on behalf of our Canadian family. If the government is not doing that, think about I have my credit card bills have to pay. I have my mortgage. I have my bills, debts to pay. If I don't get support from the government, I will have to carry the debt in a much higher interest rates. So the government is borrowing on behalf of us to help us to go through this. So for this, I think as an individual and as a family, I really appreciate what our government have been doing this. And this is one of the reasons that I'm standing as stepping forward, that I want to be part of this process, to be part of the government to help our community and help our families. And then if you look at our platform, we have this out the revenues, the investments, expenditures, all the money that we are investing, it's to support the Canadians, and there's a lot of synergy coming out. There's a lot of economic effect will bring in, like economic and positive change will bring in from all these investments. Like for example, like childcare. Yes, we are spending on childcare, but every dollar that we help the family to pay for the childcare cost, now we have the parents to be able to work out and join the workforce, to take the jobs, to participate in the economy rebuilding. So this is what we are confident, like we are with the best plan, the most feasible plan that we are going to build our economy. We are going to make our Canadian roaring back stronger.
You are running from Burnaby South, and people are complaining about the MP, I can say the MP from 2019 to 2021, and they say they are missing. So why you are running from this riding, first of all, and then what issues you want to address if you elect in this in 2021 elections?
interesting enough, ever since my campaign office opened, there are multiple residents, constituents. They came and walk into the door. They are like, I've been trying to contact the last MP's office and couldn't reach out to anyone in the last 2 years. Can you help me? And I'm like, this should not happen. When 2 years ago, when my neighbors, when we put in our votes, we are putting in a trust and expectations for the person to serve our community, to be our voice in Ottawa. But unfortunately, the last MP was not doing his job. And that's one of the reasons that I decided to put up my hand and step forward too. My family here, I live here, my base is here, I deep tie here. So, and more importantly, I care about my home community. I want to fight for them because we've been mute for the 2 years. It's enough. We need a strong local voice. We need a local change in that Burnaby South need to actually have a real representative in Ottawa who understands the local concerns and needs and who will be available and approachable for our local constituents when they need help, especially like in a pandemic crisis like this. It's very critical. And like with me as a Liberal candidate, like I will be able to build a stronger and better bridge to facilitate, to represent the best interest for our Burnaby South family and businesses. So, like, so I just want to say to my neighbors in Burnaby South, this is time we need to make this change, and we need your support. Vote for Liberal, and Liberal will bring the completely difference of the service to our community.
As you said, vote for Liberals, but why people vote Brea?
Yeah, because I'm one of our community. I'm part of our community. My family lives here, work here. My kids go to school just like many of my neighbors here. I have deep love with Burnaby South. I'm so proud to call this place my home community. And this is a time that I will be that person to bring your needs and concerns and to represent you, all the business and families in Burnaby South, to advocate for what we need and what for our interest in Ottawa.
And what will be your message for the September 20th?
Yeah. So I just like to talk to all my neighbors in Burnaby South. This year, when you vote, please think with me. When you put in a vote, do you want someone that just come in for your votes and then disappear to the east? Or do you want to vote for someone that is with you here all the time? Someone that will be right here for you when you need help. Someone that really understands our needs and concerns, and more importantly, cares about our community. Someone that will fight so much harder and work so much harder to advocate the best interests for all our Burnaby South family and businesses. And that's me. Please vote for me on September 20th. Vote for Brea Huang Sami.
Thank you, Brea. Thank you for coming in, and good luck for the elections.
Thank you, Ash.
Thank you. ਸੋ ਅੱਜ ਬ੍ਰਿਆ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਗੱਲ ਹੋਈ ਜਿਨ੍ਹਾਂ ਨੇ ਕਿਹਾ ਕਿ ਬਰਨਬੀ ਸਾਊਥ ਦੇ ਲਈ ਇਹ ਚੇਂਜ ਲਿਆਉਣਾ ਚਾਹੁੰਦੇ ਆ, ਪਰ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਕਿਸ ਨੂੰ ਕੈਂਡੀਡੇਟ ਨੂੰ ਕਿਹੜੇ ਨੂੰ ਚੁਣਨਾ ਹੈ ਉਹ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਤੇ ਡਿਪੈਂਡ ਕਰਦਾ ਆ। ਤੁਸੀਂ ਪੂਰੀ ਸਰਚ ਕਰਕੇ ਲਿਬਰਲ, ਕੰਜ਼ਰਵੇਟਿਵ, NDP ਸਾਰਿਆਂ ਦਾ ਪਲੇਟਫਾਰਮ ਪੜ੍ਹ ਕੇ ਫਿਰ ਹੀ ਵੋਟ ਪਾਉਣੀ ਹੈ, ਫਿਰ ਹੀ ਕੋਈ ਡਿਸੀਜ਼ਨ ਲੈਣਾ। ਯੂ ਕੈਨ ਪਾਰਟਿਸਿਪੇਟ ਇਨ ਐਡਵਾਂਸ ਪੋਲ, ਯੂ ਕੈਨ ਪਾਰਟਿਸਿਪੇਟ ਇਨ ਮੇਲ ਇਨ ਬੈਲਟ, ਯੂ ਕੈਨ ਗੋ ਇਨ ਪਰਸਨ September 20th, ਬਟ ਡੂ ਗੋ ਐਂਡ ਵੋਟ। ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਤੱਕ ਇਨਫੋਰਮੇਸ਼ਨ ਇਸੇ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਪਹੁੰਚਾਉਂਦੇ ਰਹਾਂਗੇ। ਦੇਖਦੇ ਰਹੋ ਸਾਂਝਾ TV ਤੇ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਅਰਸ਼ਦੀਪ ਨੂੰ ਦਿਓ ਇਜਾਜ਼ਤ। ਸਤਿ ਸ਼੍ਰੀ ਅਕਾਲ।